Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhirayat Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Chananda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hri Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 21. The instructions of Maharaj Pṛthu. Part 2. Yūyam tad anumodatvam pitra devarshayo malaha kartu shastur anujñatus tulyam yat preta tat phalam. I request all the pure-hearted demigods, forefathers, and saintly persons to support my proposal, for after death the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter. अस्ति यज्ञपतिर्नाम केषाञ्चिद् अर्ह सत्तमाः इहामुत्र च लक्ष्यन्ते ज्योतिष्णावतय क्वचित् भुवः. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of Shastra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to who is able to award the respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be persons who are unusually beautiful and powerful both in this life and in the life after death? मनोरुत्थानपादस्य ध्रुवस्यापि महीपतेः प्रियव्रतस्य राजर्षेर् हङ्गस्यास्मत् पितुः ईदृशानाम् अथान्येषाम् अजस्य च भवस्य च प्रह्लादस्य बलेश्चापि कृत्यम् अस्ति गदाव्रता. This is confirmed not only by the evidence of Vedas but also by the personal behavior of great personalities like Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Priyavrata, and my grandfather Anga, as well as my many other great personalities and ordinary living entities, exemplified by Maharaj Prahlada and Bali, and all of whom are thieves, believing in the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead who carries a club. दौहित्रादीन् मृते मृत्योः शोच्यन् धर्मविमोहितान् वर्गस्वर्गापवर्गानां प्रायेणैकात्म्यहेतुना. Although abominable persons like my father Vena, the grandson of death personified, are bewildered on the path of on the path of religion, all the great personalities like those mentioned agree that in this world the only bestower of the benedictions of religion, economic development, sense gratification, liberation, or elevation to the heavenly planets is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. यत्पादसेवाभिरुचिस् तपस्विनाम् अशेषजन्मोपचितं मलं धियः सद्य क्षिणोत्यन्वहं एदति सति यथा पदाङ्गुष्ठविनिश्रिता सरित्. By the inclination to serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, suffering humanity can immediately cleanse the dirt which has accumulated in their minds during innumerable births. Like the Ganges water, which emanates from the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord, such a process immediately cleanses the mind, and thus spiritual or Krishna consciousness gradually increases. विनिर्दुष्टाशेषमनोमलः पुमान् असङ्गविज्ञानविशेषवीर्यवान् यद् अङ्घ्रिमूले कृतकेतनः न संसृतिं क्लेशवहान् प्रपद्यते. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing bhakti yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of the threefold miseries. तमेव यूयं भजतात्मवृत्तिभिर्मनोवचः कायगुणैः स्वकर्मभिः अमायिनः कामदुग्धाङ्घ्रि पंकजं यताधिकारावसितार्थसिद्धयः. Pṛthu Maharaj advised his citizens, engaging your minds, your words, your bodies, and the results of your occupational duties, and being always open minded, you should all render devotional service to the Lord. According to your abilities and the occupations in which you are situated, you should engage your service at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead with full confidence and without reservation. Then you will surely be successful in achieving the final objective in your lives. असाविहानेकगुणः गुणोद्भरः पृथग्विधद्रव्यगुणः क्रियोक्तिभिः सम्पद्यतेऽर्थाशयलिङ्गनामभिर्विशुद्धविज्ञानगणः स्वरूपतः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental and not contaminated by this material world. But although He is concentrated spirit soul within material variety for the benefit of the conditioned souls, He nevertheless accepts different types of sacrifice performed with various material elements, rituals, and mantras, and offered to the demigods under different names according to the interests and purposes of the performer. प्रदानकालाशय धर्मसङ्ग्रहे शरीर एष प्रतिपद्यचेतनां क्रियाफलत्वेन विभुर्विभाव्यते यथा नलो दारुषु यद् तद्गुणात्मकः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is all pervading, but He is also manifested in different types of bodies, which arise from a combination of material nature, time, desires, and occupational duties. Thus, different types of consciousness develop, just as fire, which is always basically the same, blazes in different ways according to the shape and dimension of firewood. अहो ममानि वितरन्त्यनुग्रहं हरि हरिं गुरुं यज्ञभुजाम् अधीश्वरं स्वधर्मयोगेन यजन्ति मामका निरन्तरं क्षोणिकतले दृढव्रताः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the master and enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices, and He is the Supreme Spiritual Master as well. All of you, citizens on the surface of globe, who have a relationship with me and are worshipping Him by dint of your occupational duties, are bestowing your mercy upon me. Therefore, O my citizens, I thank you. मा जाततेजप्रभवेन महर्दिभिस्तितिक्षया तपसा विद्यया च देदीप्यमाने जितदेवतानां कुले स्वयं राजकुलाद् द्विजानां. The Brahmanas and Vaishnavas are personally glorified by their characteristic power of tolerance, patience, knowledge, and education. By dint of all these spiritual assets, Vaishnavas are more powerful than royalty. It is therefore advised that the princely order not exhibit its material prowess before these two communities and should avoid offending them. ब्रह्मण्यदेवाय पुरुषः पुरातनो नित्या हरिर्यच्चरणाभिवन्दनात् अवापलक्ष्मीम् अनुपायिनीं यशो जगत्पवित्रं च महत्तमाङ्घ्रिः. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ancient eternal Godhead, who is foremost amongst all great personalities, obtained the opulence of his staunch reputation, which purifies the entire universe by worshipping the lotus feet of those Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Yet sevaya shesha gunan sorry. Yet sevaya shesha guhasaya swarad विप्रप्रियः तुष्यति कामम् ईश्वरः तद् एव तद्धर्मपरैर्विनीतैः sarvatmana brahma kulam nisevyatam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is everlastingly independent and who exists in everyone's heart, he is very pleased with those who follow in his footsteps and engage without reservation in the service of the descendants of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. For he is always dear to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and they are always dear to him. Pumalabhetanativelam atmanah. Okay. पुमाल्लभ्येतानतिवैलात्मनः प्रसीदतोऽत्यन्त समं स्वतः स्वयं यन्नित्यसम्बन्धनिशेष निसेवया तथा परं किम् अत्रास्ति मुखं हविर्भुजाम्. By regular service to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, one can clear the dirt from his heart and thus enjoy supreme peace and liberation from material attachment and be satisfied. In this world, there is no fruitive activity superior to serving the Brahmana class, for this can bring pleasure to the demigods for whom the many sacrifices are recommended. अस्यन्तन्नन्त खलु तत्त्वकोविदै श्रद्धाहुतं यन्मुख इज्जनामभिः न वै तथा चेतनाया बहिष्कृते हुतासने पारामहंस पर्यगुः. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ananta, eats through the fire sacrifices offered in the names of different demigods, he does not take as much pleasure in eating through fire as he does in accepting offerings through the mouths of learned sages and devotees, for then he does not leave the association of devotees. यद्ब्रह्म नित्यं विरजं सनातनं श्रद्धा तपो मङ्गलमौन संयमैः समाधिनि बिभ्रतिहात दृष्टये यत्रेदमादर्श इवावभाषते. In Brahmanical culture, a Brahmana's transcendental position is eternally maintained because the injunctions of Vedas are accepted with faith, austerity, scriptural conclusions, full sense and mind control, and meditation. In this way, the real goal of life is illuminated just as one's face is fully reflected in a clear mirror. तेषाम् अहं पादसरोजरेणुम् आर्यावहेयादि किरीटम् आयुः यं नित्यदा बिभ्रत आशु पापं निस्यत्यमुं सर्वगुणः भजन्ति. Respectable personalities, respectable personalities present here, I beg the blessings of all of you that I may perpetually carry on my crown. Okay, let me say again. O respectable personalities present here, I beg the blessings of all of you that I may perpetually carry on my crown the dust of the lotus feet of such Brahmanas and Vaishnavas until the end of my life. He who can carry such dust on his head is very soon relieved of all the reactions which arise from sinful life, and eventually he develops all good and desirable qualities. गुणायनं शीलधनं कृतज्ञं वृद्धाश्रयं संवृतने नु सम्पदः प्रसीदतां ब्रह्मकुलं गवां च जनार्दन सानुचरश्च मह्यम्. Whoever acquires the Brahminical qualifications, whose only wealth is good behavior, who is grateful, and who takes shelter of experienced persons, gets all the opulence of the world. I therefore wish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his associates be pleased with the Brahmana class, with the cows, and with me. Maitreya इति भ्रुवानं नृपतिं पितृदेवद्विजातया तुष्टुवुर्हृष्टमनसः साधुवादेन साधवः. The great sage Maitreya said, after hearing King Pṛthu speaks so nicely. All the demigods, the denizens of Pitraloka, the Brahmanas, and the saintly persons present at the meeting congratulated him by expressing their goodwill. पुत्रेण जयते लोकान् इति सत्यवती श्रुतिः ब्रह्मदण्डहतः पापो यद् वेणो त्यतरत् तमः. They all declared that the Vedic conclusion that one can conquer the heavenly planets by the actions of a putra or son was fulfilled, for the most sinful Vena, who had been killed by the curse of the Brahmanas, was now delivered from the darkest region of hellish life by his son Maharaj Pṛthu. हिरण्यकशिपुश्चापि भगवन्निन्दया तमा विविक्षुरत्यगात् सूनो प्रह्लादस्यानुभवातः. Similarly, Hiranyakashipu, who by dint of his sinful activities always defeated the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, entered into the darkest region of hellish life, but by the grace of his great son, Prahlad Maharaj, he also was delivered and went back home, back to Godhead. वीरवर्यः पितः पृथ्व्याः समा सञ्जीव शाश्वतीः यस्येदृश्ये अच्युते भक्तिः सर्वलोकैक भर्तरी. All the saintly Brahmanas thus addressed Pṛthu Maharaj: O best of the warriors, O father of this globe, may you be blessed with a long life, for you have great devotion to the infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of all the universe. अहो वयं ह्यद्य पवित्रकीर्ते त्वयैव नाथेन मुकुन्दनाथः नाथाः य उत्तमश्लोकतमस्य विष्णोर्ब्रह्मण्यदेवस्य कथा व्यनक्ति. The audience continued, Dear King Pṛthu, your reputation is the purest of all, for you are preaching the glories of the most glorified of all, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the Brahmanas. Since due to our great fortune we have you as our master, we think that we are living directly under the agency of the Lord. नात्यद्भुतम् इदं नाथ तवाजीय तवाजीव्यानुशासनं प्रजानुरागो महतां प्रकृतिकरुणात्मनाम्. Our dear Lord, it is your occupational duty to rule over your citizens. That is not a very wonderful task for a personality like you, who are so affectionate in seeing to the interests of the citizens, because you are full of mercy. That is the greatness of your character. अध्य नस्तमसः पारस् त्वयोपासादित प्रभोः प्रभो ब्राह्मण्यताम्. Let me start. हद्यनस्तमसः पारस् त्वयोपासादितः प्रभो ब्राह्म्यतां नष्टदृष्टीनां कर्मभिर्दैव संजितैः. The citizen continued, Today you have opened our eyes and revealed how to cross the other side of the ocean of darkness. By our past deeds and by the arrangement of superior authority, we are entangled in a network of fruitive activities and have lost sight of the destination of life. Thus, we have been wandering within the universe. नमो विवृद्धसत्त्वाय पुरुषाय महीयसे यो ब्रह्मक्षत्रम् आविश्य बिभर्तीदं स्वतेजसा. Dear Lord, you are situated in your pure existential position of goodness. Therefore, you are the perfect representative of the Supreme Lord. You are glorified by your own prowess, and thus you are maintaining the entire world by introducing Brahmanical culture and protecting everyone in your line of duty as Kshatriya. Thus ends this chapter 21 from the Canto 4, entitled Instructions by Mahārāja Pṛthu. Hare Krishna. There are so many wonderful instructions. If you see the highlight, in the next minutes, let's cover mainly those. Yeah, yeah. Because after these instructions, he will just go to meet the four Kumaras and then seek the instructions and makes his life successful. So here we can see very important is that Pṛthu Maharaj is instructing his citizens, and this is the duty of a responsible representative of the Lord, which means to ensure that all his citizens advance, become successful in their uh, life, yeah, by practicing devotion. So here he's saying the supreme authority, according to the authoritative statements of Shastra, there must be supreme authority. Now, today, we all think it's Big Bang or something else as supreme, or we may say everyone is same. All these kind of misconceptions are there, but there should be some supreme authority. And the cause of different bodies is not karma, not the demigods, not the supreme. It is the supreme Lord because he has the ability to do, not to do, or do differently. That is the criteria. And that's how we can say the supreme authority is the supreme Lord. And uh, the Vedas are saying how not only the Vedas but also the people who are following Vedas. The examples given here are Manu, Uttanapada, Dhruva, Priyavrata, Anga, Brahma, Shiva, Prahlada, and Bali, but not the abominable persons like Vena. Hmm. So they also agree that the only bestower of benedictions of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, hmm, and Swarga is the Supreme Lord. So Gada Bhrata means one who is holding club in his hand. That Lord, Lord Vishnu, is the cause. He is the one who is bestowing Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and Swarga if one wants. And then it is said, Yat Pada Seva Bhiruchi Tapasvinam. So this is very nice. Devotional service is the key. Ah, King Pṛthu has perfected his life through the devotional process. If you remember from the last chapter, we can see that it is the desire of King Pṛthu that may Lord Vishnu bless him an opportunity to serve him in Vaikunta, just like how Mother Lakshmi is serving her Lord. Hmm. So Asesha Janmopachitam Malam Diya. What happens is the devotional process, devotional service is the goal and devotional service is the means. What does that mean? One one's one's existence, existential goal of life is that he serves eternally because he is eternal servant of the Lord. And how can he attain that stage? Huh? Because we are in this material world, how can we come to that stage? It is through this process of devotional service only. Sadhyo kshinoti anvaha edati sati. It is said, it immediately cleansed, and day by day one's spiritual inclination increases. This is the process. If we really know, or if we really want to know whether we are advancing spiritually, how to do it is by observing ourselves. How much taste are we developing to bhakti day by day? If we are chanting 2 rounds, is it that we will continue to chant only 2 rounds or only 6 rounds or 8 rounds? No, we advance such a way that the taste of chanting increases, that we come to 16 rounds. And 16 rounds is not just a mechanical chanting, but 16 rounds with taste. 16 rounds of taking shelter. Only when we take such care, then this dirt in our heart is cleansed and our interest in bhakti increases. Yatha padangushta vinihrita sarit. It is said, this process of chanting, this process of devotional service is like cleaning, how the Ganges purifies the water emanating from the Lord's toe, purifies everything. Chanting purifies from within. And then a devotee doesn't surrender to material life again. What is the benefit of such a practice is Vinirdushta Sesha Manomala Puman, means he, a devotee whose mind has been cleansed of unlimited contamination. Mala, Puman. Puman means superlative. It is topmost or highest. Even such, Asanga Vijnana Vishesha Viryavan, who has developed detachment and is strengthened by Bhakti Yoga. Yet Angri Mule Krita Ketana Punar means at the feet, one who is taking Pankajangri, one who is taking shelter at the feet of the Lord. Mule Krita Ketana Punar na samstritim klesha vaham prapadyate, does not surrender to material life full of suffering. So that is a blessing. So the citizens are inspired by the ruler to practice bhakti, but citizens may think, since we are drowned anyway in household life, what should we do now? So the solution is said that you practice devotional service. Kama Dughangri Pankajam means worship the Lord, who um, who's fulfills. Yeah? Kama means one who fulfills the desires, all the desires. Kama Dughangri Pankajam, engaging how by your words, minds, bodies, offering the results of your duties, swakarma bihi, and in that way come to the platform. Devotional service, but we say, hey, we are not yet perfect full-time devotees and dedicated devotees, what about us? Then he says bhakti mishra karma, how to practice karma activities but mixed with bhakti. He says material aspects of sacrifice. The Lord is transcendental, but for the benefits of the conditioned soul, He accepts different types of sacrifices. And in that process, He is saying, Pṛthu Maharaj is establishing, this is the key of this chapter as well as his instructions is, he is saying that avoid offending two classes of men. Who are they? Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Don't show your vanity in front of them. Don't show your opulences, show off your opulences in front of them. Why? Because they possess priceless wealth in their heart. What is that? Krishna Prema. So a royal family should not exhibit its material prowess before Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. Ajita Devatanam, who are glorified by different characteristic power of tolerance, patience, knowledge, and education. Hmm. So they are the cause of Lord's reputation. Brahmanya Deva Purusha Puratano. By worshipping their lotus feet, the eternal and foremost person, Lord Hari, Avapalakshmim Anapayin Neem Yasho. Anapayini is coming again. Anapayini means one who is following always with the Lord. Obtained the opulence of his staunch reputation, which purifies the entire universe. So, here we can see in that way, uh, Lord is always in favor of Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. They support the Vedas, the Brahmanas. Why? A Brahmana, by his faith, austerity, and scriptural conclusions, sense control, mind control, meditation, they supports the Vedas in order to illuminate the real goal of life. That is the role of a Brahmana. Their dust is to be carried on one's head. Tesham aham pada saroja renum. Saroja renum. The dust saroja is lotus. Pada saroja is lotus feet of. Arya vaheyadi kiritim ayuhu means may I perpetually. Pṛthu Maharaj is saying, may I perpetually carry on my crown the dust of their feet till the end of my life. Teshamaham, till the end. Yam nityada bibhrata ashupapam. One who does so is very soon relieved of all sinful reaction. Nasyati amum sarva guna bhajanti. And what happens? Eventually develops all good and desirable qualities. And what is there? Their quality, their wealth is what? Shila dhanam. What is their dhanam? Their only wealth is good behavior, gratitude, and shelter of elders. Three qualities. It is not about real. Yeah, we may think what is the wealth. Their wealth is good behavior, gratitude to the Lord, and shelter of elders. Means always being obedient. And after hearing all this, the citizens congratulated the Lord, and they said, after hearing King Pṛthu speak so nicely, all the demigods, Pitras, Brahmanas, and devotees congratulated him. And then they blessed him, and they said, may his reputation um, be for all time to hear, and delivered from you are wandering blindly due to our past deeds and by superior arrangement, but today we have been delivered from ignorance by you. So saying respects to the great Lord who exists in pure goodness and who maintains the entire world by introducing Brahmanical culture and who protects everyone through the Kshatriyas. Hare Krishna. Yeah, if you got time, please read the purports. They emphasizes so many points for practical day-to-day life. And yeah, the point here is um, to take our devotion serious, because that is the most powerful way to attain the most ultimate goal of our life. Any thoughts or questions before we close?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the recitation and explanation of Pṛthu Maharaj instructions. Yeah, so it is very wonderful that I mean, what my negligible understanding from I get that Pṛthu Maharaj is alongside. He emphasizes on bhakti when he was performing the sacrifices and everything, and after he got the darshan of the Supreme Lord, he also emphasizes on the material activities of material duties. So in that sense, he also uh, like a bhakti yogi alongside a karma yogi.
Yeah,
Both.
that's why it's called Bhakti Mishra Karma. So engaging ourselves in karma with as much as possible bhakti in it. Yeah.
Yes,
And
Prabhuji.
so yeah, Krishna, whatever said in Bhagavad Gita to Krishna, sorry, to
Hmm.
Arjuna, we can see here in practical terms how King Pṛthu is doing.
Yes, correct. That's the concise version of the Bhagavad Gita's instruction of Krishna
Hmm. Yeah.
through Pṛthu Maharaj. Thank you for this explanation, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Then we close the day, and yeah, this year's tomorrow. पंचकल्पतरभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। कंदराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे